Chavales. I hope there's not too much wind. Hope you can hear me. Bienvenidos en España, más concretamente en Albarracin. We made another rather big leap on the map. It's incredible. I stepped on a plane yesterday, actually today, and those of you who know me know that I don't like that actually. But this was an amazing opportunity, to get a nice little short bouldering trip in. So we arrived in Valencia today morning, and now we are already in Albarracin. Already checked out the village. Really nice village, man. Just beautiful historical center, and in general pretty interesting area. Supposedly there are some rock paintings there from humans from whenever, I don't know, candidate for UNESCO heritage or stuff like that. Pretty interesting rock as well, this orange Spanish limestone, which is really characteristic, the lower layer of Siorana. I notice already from the lower layer of Siorana where this seems to be the case as well. This whole Siorana limestone block, is sitting on this sandstone down there. Anyway, bouldering looks absolutely great. We're not gonna attack anything today anymore, but tomorrow we're pretty psyched, and yeah, hopefully we can get some cool boulders done and also get some cool footage done. That would be great. Yeah, that's it for now. I'll see you tomorrow.
Little voiceover as usual. Now before we get into some juicy Albarracin sandstone bouldering, I want to give a shout out and big thanks to my friends at climbingvan.com and vanu.es, who made this trip a lot more uncomplicated and also cheaper by providing us with one of their vans and crash pads for 1 week for free. Gotta say, they've got good vans with all sorts of practical gadgets and stuff. They didn't pay me to say that or anything, they simply offered a van for a little exposure, and I think it's a quite good service, so if you're interested, check them out, links are in the description as usual. This is the next day. As you can see, most of the boulders are located in this beautiful light pine forest, which gives this nice setting of sun with shady spots. And generally, although it was definitely still too hot, most of the time for perfect bouldering conditions, as we were in the lower 20s degrees Celsius usually, I had the feeling that the air was very crisp and dry, and quite a bit of wind too, as this place is located on the Sierra de Albarracin after all, and has actually quite a bit of elevation. I think we are at around 1,200 meters above sea level here. So much for the environment, but what about the bouldering? Well, needless to say, pretty epic. I think Albarracin is considered one of the best destinations for bouldering in Spain for good reason. The red sandstone is not only pretty but also very compact, and another thing I've noticed is that the falling situation is usually quite convenient compared to other bouldering spots that I've been to. I'm thinking of Magic Wood, for example, where you often have spiky rocks sticking out of the ground. Here it's often just a flat sandy surface at the feet of the rocks, which makes protection with crash pads relatively easy, Another interesting detail is that due to the color of the rock, this deep red, holes which are white as well as footholds which are black give a pretty outstanding contrast, which makes it hard to oversee necessary features and therefore makes flashing a bit easier. And I suppose climbing in general for beginners who come out of the gym where holes are easily spotted due to the color contrast. I first noticed this in Siorana actually, one major sport climbing destination in Catalonia, where they have this reddish limestone and therefore again holes and footholds which are hardly overseeable, so to say, and I was able to on-site much closer to my limit compared to at home where the limestone is white and grayish. That being said, despite the obvious holes, betas can get surprisingly complex sometimes on this sandstone, and therefore I'd like to do a bit of analytic bouldering featuring some nice Albarracin lines in upcoming episodes. For now, I picked out one of the very classics of Albarracin, which we got our hands on. This boulder is called Techo Don Pepo. It's a 7A, and it features this really epic sandstone roof. And along that, I find kind of fascinating, you know, how the sandstone is able to produce all these different kinds of shapes. These more ball-like boulders, and then as well these crazy big sandstone roofs. I should mention maybe that we did a wrong start here to this boulder. The wrong start, which is actually harder than the actual start. Sorting in this very shallow undercling 2-finger pocket there and making a huge lock-off move down out to this kind of slopey edge. And here we're entering the actual boulder, slopey pocket right hand, left high heel hook, and then matching there on another slopey pocket with the left hand and having this kind of nice big move out to this crimp edge there. Going onto the edge, swinging out, and then something which we very often have on this kind of limestone, obviously, the mantle to the top. Now most of the boulders are finished with a mantle, and no, I'm not very good at that stuff because back home we don't have this high quality style bouldering where you can actually top out your boulders usually, which is something that you may have seen in my Merkenstein videos. Usually the boulder ends at a top jug, at kind of a top hole or something, which you have to match, and then you have to jump down again. So here most of the boulders are actually top outable, which is kind of cool. Let's watch Stefan on his attempt. This left heel hook here is actually on the starting hold, which is the actual starting hold of the boulder, I should say. And when you start there, you're skipping these very hard moves of the beginning, which we made here. So for us, this boulder was probably something along the lines of 7A plus or something, maybe even 7B, I don't know. These two starting crimps are really small. Again, foot switch, left high heel hook, and then sorting in this undercling, super bad, and then big move out. For him, the major difference was, I think, placing the right foot correctly on this kicker wall down there. Again, left heel hook, and then as you can see here, he's stepping something with his right foot and pressing his knee against the wall, literally, and then pushing himself into the undercling. And this way he can get this move done more statically, and thereby sticking it. Now left high heel hook, left hand into the slopey pocket, big move into the edge, which does not look as big for him. Stefan is quite a bit taller than me, which is interesting from a comparison point of view. Maybe we can get something done into that direction. And now again the top out mantler, which was kind of a procedure for him. As you can see, it's really funny sometimes, you know, you're working with all your limbs and your whole body to get up these mantles. And this is also sometimes why you should actually keep your shirt on, because you're gonna scratch your whole upper body on the surface of this rough sandstone, you know, while fighting for the top of your boulder. Anyway, we both could get this classic done in one session. Was kind of cool for the first day, and yeah, then we chilled a bit and just enjoyed the nice sunsets above Albarracin. It's really epic scenery. So yeah, I hope I can come up with a couple more Albarracin episodes in the near future. Stay tuned for that, and I hope you have a great time as well. I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye.